happy fucking, what week is it? Is
9.
it week 9?
Yeah, it's
oh,
week 9.
jeez.
I know, dude. I feel like the past 3 weeks have just flowed together. It's been weird.
It's Cincinnati week, but I feel like it was more Odell week this week. We do have a game this Sunday, guys.
Yeah, it's real. It's actually a really, we need to win this game. As much as last week was a must-win, this is a must-win for sure. Obviously, big news today and pain in the ass week.
Happy birthday, Odell.
Yeah, you got your present.
You got cut.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It wasn't very fortunate that these 3 years go by. You gave up a lot in the trade, hoping that it would work. Big name receiver and
first round pick, Jabril Peppers.
Just couldn't make it gel, and it's unfortunate. I don't hate you, Odell. I don't think you suck. I just don't think it worked.
Yeah. On the positive side, and we've talked about this before, rolling a little bit, I'm really excited to see the people that we've been kind of underutilizing this year, just as Rashard Higgins and Peoples-Jones, to kind of come in and fill that gap, because you saw it last year. We had a ton of success with these guys, and next year we can sign them. We can sign Higgins again and save $10 million. So, in a big pay year, hey, because at the end of the day, just remember, Odell Beckham was not going to be here after these next 10 games. Realistically, he was gone after the season, no matter what. I mean, think about it. We need to pay some guys. He's not working out anyway. He was going to be gone. So, I can't be too mad, because I'm not. Because, even if he goes out and performs somewhere else, which he probably will, it just wasn't working out, guys. It just wasn't working out. He didn't fit the mold. So, look at the positive side. So we get to see a little bit more of Higgins, Peoples-Jones, Schwartz. We get to see some of these guys that that shined last year and have been kind of like Rashard Higgins. Like, you're on the bench now. You'll come in for a few plays, but yeah, I think I'm looking at the positive side here. There's, in my opinion, no negative side outside of losing the popularity of having Odell Beckham here, which is kind of a downfall of Odell, in my opinion. But yeah, that's my take on it.
Yeah, I think of this situation a little addition by subtraction. You saw it last year. Once Odell got hurt with the ACL, the offense really made a turnaround. I think a lot of it has to do with Baker being a guy that likes to spread the ball around a lot more. The offense is not really built for someone that's a freelancer. Ideally for someone like Odell, that's what you want him to do. But this offense is based, at least the pass game is set. It needs to be based on timing, and having Odell getting open, like that video that was posted by his dad this past week that caused this whole catastrophe, or at least added more fuel to the fire. It showed that he's running this. He ran the same route over and over again. If you were to watch that video, a lot of the time, Baker had let go of the ball already, or Baker just didn't look his way. But the way this offense is set up, there's reason why he wasn't looking his way. So with that being said, I thought maybe they should design more plays to get Odell the ball, but now we don't have to worry about that. It's statistically proven that Baker plays a lot better when Odell's not on the field. Over the last 3 years, there was a stat that came out on ESPN today that the completion rating, QBR rating for Baker is significantly different when Odell's not on the field. When Odell's on the field, completion ratings sitting at 53%. When Odell's off the field, he's throwing at 70%. That's a huge difference.
Crazy. Yeah.
His QBR rating's at 85 when Odell's not on the field. when he's on the field, it's a 72. And I don't want to sit here pointing fingers at people because it's not all on Odell. It's not all on Baker. They've obviously haven't been able to make it work. I'm just happy that this nonsense is over with. They can focus on football.
Yeah.
And not, he said, she said, we don't need fucking national media talking about, the whole entire team hates Odell or vice versa. Yeah, the whole locker room's torn apart.
Yeah, I know. In fact, it's not true. I mean, even Kareem Hunt today posted a picture of him in the tunnels and happy birthday.
Yeah,
don't let anyone else paint this picture.
Yeah, it's the biggest crime of professional sports. If you got a big name like Odell Beckham,
it's money.
Yeah,
the more they talk, the more money they make.
If they got a lot of personality, I hate to see it to happen to someone like Odell, who's very charitable. He does a lot of good things for the community. He's a big idol to kids, and to him be labeled as a diva and him just being a flat out asshole in the locker room, it's not fair. Like, someone in the media is just trying to find any little thing to exploit the guy. Even though that's their job. Their job is to find news and spread it. And we never know what the true truth is, until it's said, years later. So, that being said, thank you very much, Odell. It was cool to have you here, even though it didn't work out. It sucked, but we needed to move on as fans.
It's kind of like getting over that relationship. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You finally did it.
Yeah,
you're gonna be much better off without her. So without him, whatever.
We got much bigger stuff and coming
because we got a game to win.
Yeah, we got a big game.
Yeah.
This game's even bigger than it was last week.
Because last week was, a complete and utter dud.
Yeah.
And as much as I said last week that Baker shouldn't be playing, and I still take that pose. I still take that position right there. Which at this point now, now that we're in this week, I think, fine, you should be playing. But everybody but Baker Mayfield played awful last week. Baker Mayfield played great last week.
I won't say great, but he did his job.
Oh yeah, but even when he was on the fence, he was still making good plays. He didn't. Now, okay, when that sack, when he saw, people coming at him, he just jumped to the ground. That made me kind of angry.
Well, what do you want him to do with that shoulder?
Well, that's the thing though. If he's gonna just fall to the ground and take a sack like that.
But Case Keenum would probably done the same thing.
I doubt it. I don't think so.
I'd put money on that.
I think he would have. I think he would have tried to at least run.
He had nowhere to go. That pocket was collapsed. But I was very happy with his performance. It wasn't lights out great, but he didn't cost his team game. He had 11 incompletions and 7 of them were drops. So you can't even put the game on him.
Yeah. Our run game never really got going either. That's a big factor.
Yeah, the run. I think once again the play calling came in and. You're taking the ball out of the best player's hands and you're not letting your offense do its thing. That's on Stefanski. I think all of us as Browns fans were hyped when Baker got knocked out of bounds, and you're like, "Oh my god!"
No, dude.
And he gets up, runs out, and hypes up the crowd.
That was dope.
That's what you want out of your quarterback.
Nick Chubb still kind of looked. I don't know if he injured or if they were playing it safe with him. And obviously, I think Jarvis looked not 100% still. I gotta say, Dearness Johnson had another pretty good game as your backup running back.
Yeah,
he did really well.
Yeah, he did what he was supposed to do.
Exactly, that's what he gets paid for. So
yeah, Nick Chubb doesn't look like he was up to par.
Yeah, big time.
That's not entirely on him. He's one of those guys that's just He comes out, he plays the game, and he's the perfect football player. That's who you want on your team. It just looked like his cuts weren't there. The cutbacks weren't there. But that's something you want to move on from. Jarvis, I've been saying this like crazy. It just seems like every time we lose a close game, it's always on the flukiest plays. Stuff that just doesn't happen. And it's always the guys that are just your best players. Everything you want in a football player. And Jarvis and Nick Chubb. Yeah. You look back to the Kansas City game. They had that game wrapped up, and then they had 2 fluky plays and Nick Chubb fumbling, and then you had the Jamie Gillen dropped punt. 2 plays you never see see that often.
And the same with the Chiefs last year with the fumble in the end zone.
Yeah.
That's that same thing. I mean, you always break it down to 1 or 2 plays that it is fluky.
Yeah.
It's fluky.
Jarvis, they Tony Romo said it in the game after he fumbled. He hasn't fumbled in over 3 years. So the whole entire time he's been a Brown, he's only fumbled once until now. Okay. And it's, it sucks because, you expect more out of him. And, he played that was probably his worst game as a Brown. I expect him to bounce back, most definitely.
It's Jarvis Landry. Yeah, absolutely.
Everything that happened on Sunday was very uncharacteristic of him. I think he's got the best hands in the league by far.
Well, I mean, you see, like, it wasn't this week. It was last week with the catch over the middle, and it was like that. He had it just by the tip of his fingers.
Yeah, he
incredible.
He makes catches that I've never seen anybody else make, and hopefully he can turn it around. Maybe I hope this is just one game, and maybe this whole Odell situation has nothing to do with Jarvis. It's a professional sport. He's a professional. So, leaving it at that. Defensive wise, I don't know what the hell they're doing. If you can't stop that offense, you're the number 5 run defense in the league, and you let the number 29th rush offense in the league do that to you. Yeah, you're gonna have some trouble.
It's pretty embarrassing. And on top of, over the center of the field was so exposed this week.
Too many miscommunications and coverage this deep in the season.
Just constantly.
You don't have young guys. In fact, the only bright spots on this defense are the young guys.
Yeah.
And Greg Newsome went out there and looked at like your number 1 corner, and then Greedy was just burnt the whole entire game.
They don't have that depth that we thought they would.
The defensive line just couldn't get a good enough, a consistent pass rush.
And we talked about last week with that offensive line isn't good.
Yeah, well, so what I was gonna say was
what's up?
A lot of it has to do with your coverage. Big Ben leads the league in how quick he gets the ball out of his hands.
When you have no linebackers that can cover anything,
when you have a route, they're running a lot of short stuff and they're just open. You take Myles Garrett out of the game by doing that, or running the ball up the middle. They did a great job. Pittsburgh did a great job of getting themselves in good, getting themselves ahead of the game plan. Getting the 5 yards on first down.
Even with their starting tight end being out, their backup tight end looked great. A lot of those, off to the flats and run.
Pat Freiermuth is he's going to be the next thing in Pittsburgh. He's going to be a name you got to get used to as a Browns fan. This definitely was a game that hurt, especially when you should have won it. They put themselves in many opportunities to win that game. They just couldn't pull it through. you don't have any excuses. You can't blame anybody else besides yourself. It just seems like every game that they lose, it comes down to them shooting themselves in the foot. And it's been the trend all year. And it's not looking good for Kevin Stefanski. Coming from Coach of the Year, and he might possibly be on the hot seat depending on the rest of this season goes. His play calling has taken a step back. You played exactly played into what exactly Pittsburgh wanted you to do, is throw the ball. Third and long opportunities, you don't want that. That's exactly what Pittsburgh wanted. You're really just playing yourself. They're leading the league in penalties, that's all discipline. Yeah. So you took a step back there, and what happened this week is not very much of a good look for you either. That being said, these next 9 games are going to be crucial for this team. For Baker, for Stefanski, for other guys that are playing for contracts. It's going to be big. You go into Cincinnati. This AFC is really close together. The best team in the AFC right now is the Tennessee Titans. Yeah. And they just lost Derrick Henry for the season.
Yeah, big time.
Peterson. This conference is still wide open. The Chargers just lost to New England last week, so they're sitting at 4-4. Yeah. Pittsburgh's 4-3.
I mean, anybody can go on a run right now.
Yeah.
They really can.
Yeah.
I mean, even the Colts. Look at the Colts. Of course, they blew out the Jets yesterday, but anybody can go on a run.
Right. One of the biggest wins, like, if you had anything positive come out last week, was the Jets beat the Bengals, and that opens it up for the Browns.
I don't know what to think of the Bengals anymore after that. So
right. You can. It just still seems like we're in the same position we were in last year. Same kind of controversy.
It's mid-season.
But
okay.
Odell gets hurt. We're 4-4. It's not the worst thing in the world. We do expect to be better. We have Super Bowl aspirations.
For sure.
And here we are going back into a Cincinnati game where we just come off a tough loss to Pittsburgh. Same thing as last year. And it's a much better Bengals team. Way better Bengals team. Yeah. But they definitely have their flaws, just like we do. Joe Burrow's playing lights out. Their offensive line's still a little shaky. They got a lot of talent at their receiver position with Jamar Chase, who's having a hell of a year.
Dude, yeah, that's what I'm nervous about. If somebody blows coverage or safety positions like they did against the Chargers,
they're going to get exposed this week if they can't get to the quarterback or, at least play some. Too, they got to play tight coverage.
Watch out for T.
You got T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd, C.J. Uzomah. Those guys.
It's deep, man. It's deep over there.
Yeah, they can light it up. You gotta make them one-dimensional. You can't have Joe Mixon also go for 100 yards. If they want to throw the ball, let them throw the ball. Just don't let them have both aspects of their offense rolling, because that will make.
Can't do that.
Yeah. I think one of the things you gotta keep on doing. It's getting repetitive. Come on. Do you know what I'm about to say?
I believe so, yeah.
Go ahead, say it.
Are you talking about jamming it down throats?
Yep.
Running the ball?
Run the damn ball.
Yeah,
please.
We need to, yeah.
Whenever you play a great offense, you want to take the ball out of their hands, take time off the clock, control the game, you run the damn ball. And the Jets were able to do that last week. Somehow. It was a mysterious way. And they were able to torch that Cincinnati defense, who's been playing some very good football.
Yeah.
They had.
But once you get the running back to the second level, I think that's where obviously you saw a lot of flaws last week. And talk about exposed defenses. That was one of them for them. Take advantage at this point, right? We need to.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to be the the big kind of driving factor in this game is, hey, we're down Odell, but hey, we got a football game to play. Let's run this ball. Let's get some of these receivers open. I mean, we got these guys, man. We got a ton of talent on this team.
You get Peoples-Jones back this week.
Yeah.
I think this is the difference. You don't have Odell, but like I said, he was a freelancer. Now you add someone who's going to run the route they're supposed to run, that fits into the offense, and we seen it work last year. I don't want to keep on ringing that bell about last year this, last year that, but it's just proven facts with stats and everything that it works better when Odell's not on the field, and you have those guys that stay in the confines of the offense. And I feel like this is their time to step it up. It's a must win. They need this game more than anything else. The Bengals don't need this game. They've been playing some good ball. The Browns just need to take a win this week. They need to get the monkey off their back. Shut out the drama, because you go on and win in Cincinnati. None of whatever happened this week matters.
You go out and ball out and win this game, you're gonna shut up everyone. On the other hand, if you go and flop like you did last week,
this team will. I think.
I don't think from a PR perspective you're gonna recover this year.
Yeah, I don't know how you can come back from
a 4-5 record. I mean, you gotta win every game.
Even if you lose by a field goal, this is going to be a tough game to bounce back from.
But you need to win every other game. You need to beat the Ravens twice. You need to win against Green Bay. And then you need to beat the Raiders.
You got New England. You got Pittsburgh again.
Because this can be a real. Last week you saw it. If they lose this week, and the Bengals, and you got all these other teams coming at you. This could slide quick.
Yeah, it's an uphill battle right now. Things get a lot easier if you go in and win on Sunday. You gotta play clean football.
Yeah.
You can't have penalties on downs. You can't have a penalty on 3rd and 11 when you're trying to go when it's 4th down territory. That's shooting yourself in the foot.
Big time, man. A lot of missed things. So yeah, we can't have that.
You can't put yourself behind the gun here. You just gotta go to Cincinnati and take it to them. Don't play. Oh well, we're gonna let them catch the ball and go make the tackle. No, you want to be there and make the play. Don't even let them get in the rhythm. I got my mind made up. Joe Woods is done.
Big time.
He's shown nothing this year.
Right when you thought they were gonna turn that corner, they just been stagnant, and they've been they've kind of dipped. They kind of went up with 2 nice games, and they've just slowly been going down since. And I agree, Woods is gonna be gone. I don't know what to tell you, man. It's been weird because he's got the talent on that defense.
Right, you're seeing we've played teams that have not been very good on offense, or at least protecting the quarterback. And Pittsburgh's given up 2 sacks a game. Well, you only got 3. Cincinnati's given up on average 3.
Which I believe Joe Burrow's the most sacked quarterback in the NFL, or at least he was last year.
Yeah.
This year, I know he's, I think the most, I think he's the highest quarterback to throw throw interceptions. I think he's sitting at 10 right now. So that's something to be wary of. And he gets sacked a lot. So
they gotta bring the pressure this week. They gotta be playing tight coverage, and they need Denzel back this week.
He wasn't on the injury list.
No, he's questionable for Sunday.
Okay.
The only one ruled out right now is Jack Conklin.
Yes.
There's no surprise there with that injury. He's probably going to miss multiple weeks.
Yeah.
Who knows what number that is. I think a lot of what the team's trouble comes from injury bug this season. not being able to get a click on offense, and defensively, it's been the play calling, the scheme. I honestly, the scheme wise, I think it works for the players, but the play calling and the coverage, it just hasn't worked.
Yeah, and when one part of the defense is looking really good, the other part is falling flat. Yeah. You know, I don't think Joe Woods has been orchestrating it perfectly either. So I think that's going to be the big issue going forward. I mean, it's just not looking good for him and two for us. I mean, it's just they haven't been able to pull together and win games as a whole. We said defensively and offensively. We haven't seen both these squads click and win as a team.
That being said, I think it's time to go into our favorite segment of the week.
Yeah, favorite one.
Go ahead, let it rip. Your cowtail
player, one of three players. I'm throwing a cowtail too. I'm gonna have to give this one to Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield has to show up. He's got a lot of things he needs to get off his chest this week. I mean, you saw. I mean, I don't know if you watched the leading up to the game last night, but he had a lot of fire being thrown out there.
Yeah.
Versus from Steve Smith.
Oh yeah.
That dude, he really went after him. I mean, he looked right at the camera and said, "Hey, Baker, you're average. You're not good." That's as close as a quote as I can get. Hey man, like you got to do something here. You got to show up because I mean, people are coming at your throats. The national media, and I mean, Steve Smith has got you cornered into, literally.
He's taking receipts. He's taking receipts.
Yeah. So I mean, man, I don't know. You need to show up. You need to ball out, and you need to win like you did last year.
Baker, you just gotta shut him the fuck up. That's it.
So go into the jungle and win this game like you did last year. Man. Let's go.
I can't remember which reporter said it, but this seems like Baker's most important game of his career. What's been going on with this team, the point in his contract discussions, just where things are going in his career. This is a big game where he needs to show, hey, I'm the guy. Yeah. You got to trust me. Even Baker fans are still like, oh, well.
Questioning.
I'm a big Baker guy, but people have a good argument right now.
Yeah.
And it's not that he's playing terrible ball, but he's not taking that extra step. He hasn't taken us out of a game, but he's still playing middle of the road. Where if you're going to invest $30 million into someone a year, he needs to be on that level.
Yeah. I did look up when I kind of looked and see where he ranked above or around quarterbacks and passing yards. He was 25th. He also was 29th in touchdowns thrown, which is one less than Davis Mills and one more than Geno Smith.
I think he's only thrown 4.
6.
He's thrown 6 touchdowns?
He's thrown 6.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
That's more than I thought.
It feels like it.
Well, he's at 6 and 3. 6-3?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, that's not terrible, I guess, considering what their offense is.
It might be 7.
He needs to unleash. Woke up feeling dangerous, Baker.
Yeah. Show out.
He's been very conservative throwing the ball this year. He hasn't been fitting the ball in tight windows like he usually does. I don't know how much of that has to do with his shoulder, but honestly, at this point, nobody's going to care about the shoulder if you play bad.
Yeah.
Or play good. I mean, no one's going to give you the benefit of doubt because you're saying, I'm a leader, you got a bad shoulder, but you're still out there and playing. That is completely on you.
Yeah. It's kind of your decision at this point, right? I mean, you're out there.
Yeah.
So show up. Let's go.
I like that he's betting on himself, and I'm sure his teammates respect him for that. I don't know. That just gives me, enough to make me believe that he can go out there and get it done still. I don't have a doubt in my mind he can't turn this around.
Yeah. So who you giving the second cocktail to? Who you tossing that bad boy to?
Well, I'm looking to David Njoku. Okay. He's been a light spot in this offense. Whenever he's out there, he's made a play. He's made a difference. I think Austin Hooper has definitely let this number one tight end position go. Yeah. You want to talk about someone dropping a game ball?
Dude.
To kill momentum for your team, you go out there and you put a perfect drive together. Oh my God, that drive was perfect. And you put the ball exactly where it needs to be.
On the spot, man.
And he's walking into the end zone and you drop an open pass.
It's crazy.
He's Mr. No yards after a catch,
He stops the second he catches the ball.
He holds his team back. I like him out there sometimes, but I'd like to see Njoku more.
Harrison Bryant even came up clutch last week.
Right.
But, why are you getting all this money when you got two guys that aren't getting that much money?
You can save your money. He's not worth what you're paying him right now. Njoku deserves the contract because he's playing his ass off. Dude. He played his ass off in the second half of the season last year, and with the small amount of reps he's had, he's been showing out. He goes for 150 yards against the Chargers. You're telling me he's not worthy of the starting position yet. You get him out there in the second half after you show him no love in the first half. He gets out there in the second half, makes plays, gets your offense rolling.
Yeah.
Like 3 straight plays off the bat.
Yeah.
All to Njoku.
Yeah.
Got that offense going. He brings that extra spark that the team needs sometimes. And, the combination of size, speed, and he's starting to turn into a sure hand catch now, which is exactly what you need out of a tight end.
Yeah. That can block too. And he said he can run, and they're trying to tackle a dude that's 240,
right.
6'5".
Yeah.
and is just running at you.
Yeah.
Full steam ahead. I'd be scared shitless to tackle that man.
And
so
on top of him and Baker have a nice connection.
Very.
That's something you want right now with, the way this situation's looking. So I think you got to look to David Njoku getting the ball a lot more this week. You're most likely going to get into a shootout this week. So
unfortunately,
just be ready for that. That being said, I think we're ready to move on to the next cocktail.
All right. So I think if you want to split this cocktail, that's fine with me. But I'm going to give this cocktail to Greg Newsome. Greg Newsome is getting this cocktail because no matter who he covers, if Ward is not ready to go, hey, he's got Jamar Chase most likely. But if not, you got T. Higgins. And no matter, depending on where, they line up or whatever happens, you need to be ready because they got some deep receivers and they're going deep. They're going deep because Joe Burrow's got an arm and those receivers got some legs. They're going to book it downfield,
man. So they have legs and arms? Stop it.
Oh, I'm telling you, everyone does. But Joe Burrow's got an arm. He's got a cannon for an arm. And those boys can run.
Samson.
But yeah, Greg Newsome. I'm giving that one to Greg Newsome. If you want to split that and give it to someone else, but that's my guy this week.
I think I'm going to complete the sweep of an offensive cocktail. And the same one as last week. Jarvis.
Redemption story.
A redemption game for him. He had a rough week. A lot of shit going on with his best friend. This is a must-game win. A must-win game. You got to go out there and make some plays, and he knows that. And I think he's ready. I think we're all ready to go into Cincinnati. and get this dub. So we can.
Need this dub.
We need to put this week and last week in the past and get this thing going and play some winning Browns football.
Damn right.
Yeah. So Jarvis, he made some errors last week, but he's a professional. He's gonna come back, fix it.
He's the definition of a professional.
Jarvis
Landry's our guy.
The perfect football player in my eyes. Him and Nick Chubb.
Let's go.
He's gonna go out there and give you everything he's got, and I think we're ready to see that again this week. This is definitely gonna be a tricky game. They got every reason to lose this game.
For sure.
And they got every reason to win this game. It's just where they are at as a team. And a lot of us, we just don't know where they stand, like, mentally. Are they going to be, like, torn in the locker room right now because what's going on with Odell? Or are they going to be ready to go, get it behind them, and get to the next game?
We'll learn a lot about our team this week. Sure.
Yes,
Sure.
Most definitely. A close game doesn't matter in this one. There's no moral victories this week. There's nothing to feel bad feel good about if you lose this game.
Give a damn if it's close and they lose. You need to win.
If they lose this game, they kiss this division goodbye. But there's not much to feel good about right now. And that's why I have to do it, and I'm not going Homer this week. I'm going 21-13 Boogles.
Jungle Cats, huh?
I know.
Okay.
I feel horrible saying it, but my confidence is just fleeting right now in this team. I mean, there's still a lot of football to be played, but I just feel like after this week, you're kind of deflated. The only one I feel like that really has some, like, 1-2 to play right now is Baker. Like, has a must need reason is him. But I'm going all based off what I think is going on with the team. It might not even be true. They might come out and lay out 50 on these guys. Who knows? I hope they prove me wrong. Cincinnati's just playing too good of football right now to feel good about this game at all.
Gotcha. I think I'm giving my prediction here. I think, first of all, before I give my prediction, shout out GV. This was awesome hoodie. This is dope as hell. Super glad I got one. So my prediction here, though, Browns are going to win. I don't give a shit. Browns are going to win this week. I'm going to say 20-24 Browns. I think run game's going to get going.
I sure
Baker's going to show up. I think it's going to be the same thing as last week. It's going to be smaller passes. But I think Nick Chubb's going to have a great day. And I think we're going to win this one. I think a defense is going to come together. Although I think there's going to be some big plays deep downfield. I think Browns are going to win this one. That's my prediction.
Who they say gonna beat the Bengals?
Dude, that's just a ripoff from
the Browns. The Browns. The Browns.
Dude, I think that's a total rip from the Saints. Just saying. Who dat?
Who gives a shit about both of them? This is the fucking city of Cleveland. Okay.
Browns are gonna win.
Here we go, Brownies.
Fuck them cats, bro.
Hoo. The dogs go to the jungle this week and search for blood. They're ready to play some nasty AFC North football.
Yeah.
The Battle of Ohio.
We got to win this one. We're going to win this one. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you all. Until next week.
Go Browns!